We're going to work on double sleeve grip on a straight line movement in Okuri Ashi Barai, send after a sliding foot sweep. And we got Derrick and Aric here. And we're going to start with a two-step approach, then we'll do a one-step approach. You're grabbing a normal kumikata, normal grip, and so that's the standard grip we would use when doing Okuri Ashi Barai in many cases, or a variation of that. But in this case, we're going to kind of fool the guy, and we're going to use a double sleeve grip, okay? And most people don't think about a sliding foot sweep or any type of a foot sweep when you grip them with a double sleeve, especially a low double sleeve like Derrick's doing right now with Aric, okay? Why don't you... Yeah, there you go. About a half a step, sorry, you're about a half step behind, okay? And he's got the double sleeve grip. And Derrick, you're going to move to your right, aren't you? Okay. And basically, let's do it a two-step so you get the timing down. Step, step, and sweep. So step, step, sweep, bam, there we go, okay? And I'll get another view from this angle here. And you can see that when he does this, step, step, sweep, and there's the angle, okay? Keep staying this way, guys. We've got a good view here. So the double sleeve grip, and now we want to, when practicing any sliding foot sweep action, Okuri Ashi Barai, any type of a foot sweep movement, Aric will, you want to let your partner, if you're Uki, the person receiving the technique, let Tori, the attacker, bring your ankles together. So when he does the foot sweep, in other words, don't like cop out and sweep. Yeah, don't put your foot in front of the other one. No, in front of, yeah. So swing that, don't do that, okay? Because that throws the timing off. In learning these techniques, you have to be a good partner, a good Uki. So let him bring your ankles together because that's exactly what he wants to do, that type of movement there. So let's do a double action again, two steps and go step, step, sweep, bam. Again, people don't think you're going to do a foot sweep if you have a double sleeve grip. It's just not a common grip for that. Now, get your timing down where you do that, okay? You've got step, step, sweep. That's very nice. Really, very few people are, like willing or, once, very rarely will they take two steps with you, in other words, okay? So let's practice. Once you get the double step down, let's just go one step and sweep. So step and sweep. Bam. Okay, there we go. Now, Derrick, when you do this, when you do your sweep, and because you're doing it naturally with your right foot, you point your toe out. Can you exaggerate that? Yeah. Can you exaggerate that movement this time? Okay. So when he steps on the one sweep, that gives him room to move his hip and foot sweep. See how I did that? He can move his out by stepping his right foot out to the side. He can sweep real deeply with his left hip and leg. If he just stood sideways, stand sideways, and you just kind of restrict your movement when you do that standing sideways, it just kind of restricts the movement. So step open and sweep. That's a key point in any foot sweep when you do that, okay? And
if you play golf, it's opening your hips up to...
Very good point.
Through. Okay, it's the same idea from baseball. Let your hips lead and then follow through. You're opening your hips up so that foot can slide all the way through.
Very good.
Full range of your motion.
That's a really good analogy. Can you show that again and again? Now you notice also on this foot sweep, and because it is a double sleeve grip, you are extended. Generally in a foot sweep, you're a little closer to your opponent, but in this case you're not. And so this is where he thinks he's safe from a foot sweep. He's thinking maybe a big forward body throw or something like that, like a knee drop, sode surikomigoshi or sode seyanagi. But in this case, you're going to foot sweep him. So that's why your timing needs to be good. And you need to open that hip so you can use the full length of your hip and leg to throw, okay? So look at it again, and you step and sweep, and that's it. And, these are both good black belts here, and he's throwing him, he's controlling him all the way down. If in practice, if you're learning this, let him, go ahead and sweep him and let him have one hand free so he can do a break fall. Yeah, if you're learning it, that's a good way to learn it. But as you get better and you can control the movement and how hard you throw, you notice in this, Derrick, you're not throwing Aric real hard. You don't need to. We're working on timing. Yeah. If you needed to, you would.
Yeah.
But again, if you can control how soft you can throw them, you can control how hard you can throw them.
And for this one especially, it's a very easy way to really slam the guy. The double lapel variation and the double sleeve variation, because as soon as you get the guy up here, you can literally shove his torso down. So not only does he have his full weight going down about 3 or 4 feet, flat, but you're going to push him a little bit on top of that and really clock him one.
Really, really clock him, yeah. And again, tie up guys, let's do the two-step one. Again, we recommend start out 2, step, sweep. You get your timing down, okay? And if you're a good foot sweeper already, then just go with a 1-step and hit, because that's really what's going to happen.
Oh, you want one?
Yeah, just go to the 1-step. Yeah, just go to 1-step. That's more likely what you're going to be doing. Very few people are willing or dumb enough to take more than 1 step with you. He may step with you a little bit to see where you're going, and all of a sudden you clock him with that foot sweep.
And the better you get at the single step, the more you're able to do things like the single-legged hop in Uchimata, bang, doesn't work, bang, doesn't work, hop in, Uchimata the guy, or, bang, step through in Taitoshi. It lends itself to so many other things that need 1 step rather than 2 or 3.
Right. And another thing we do want to mention here, when we do, at least we approach it here at Welcome Mat, we don't use a lot of lifting action with the hands. We tend to think of, everybody thinks I need to pick them up. Your movement is actually sufficient this is a clear case of what Kazushi and movement is all about. Can you do one more time? But watch his hands, everybody. He's not lifting with his hands. He's holding with his hands, connecting the bodies together with the grip, and he's not necessarily lifting. And when you do a double sleeve, you really can't lift very well anyway.
I mean, maybe if I was like a foot taller than he was and, really strong, I could pull him up real hard this way and hit him. And I've seen guys that are really heavy on the grips, they'll pop, swing the guy this way and swing him that way and then foot sweep him. But at that point, you're wasting so much energy to get it. It really is just open your hips up, get the timing right, and blow right through them. It's one of the throws that's kind of the epitome of judo in that regard. You can't do it correctly unless you have the timing and the kazushi to do it.
Yeah, foot sweeps are essential in whether we do judo, sambo, whatever the grappling sport is, but they do come to us directly from judo. And this is where judo really has a lot to offer in this way, because the timing movement. This is kazushi in action. Yep. Body movement is really, and we're working, and the body movement we're using here, by the way, is a sugiashi, or a sliding foot action, okay? Now, remember the old saying, the faster you go, the easier you throw? So I want to create a fast tempo in the movement with this foot sweep. Foot sweeps come out of a fast tempo, usually, that are effective, and I want to catch a nice throw. If I do this too slow, we're too heavy on our feet. Just like Aric and I were talking about earlier, you don't want to be heavy-footed. You want to be gliding, and this is where you learn good foot movement. Can you do the double step first and the single step, and then we'll wrap it up. There you go, and a double sleeve. Again, we're doing double sleeve tonight. You do this in a turning taisabaki action, but we're doing in a single, a straight line movement. Okay, in a 1-step and hit. There you go. And you can see it is movement and action. It's not a lot of power movement, but again, you're generating a lot of power from your sweep with your foot, and that's what throws him and gets him down.
You're trying to power that leg through. So in that one regard, you're absolutely right, Coach. Like blast through his feet with your leg when you're really trying to do it. Right.
And again, we do want to emphasize again, if you're uki, the receiver of the throw, cooperate with them. This is where it takes a good uki, to cooperate with each other, because Derrick's been doing all the throws here, but it'll be Aric's turn too, and you got to give and take, and that's part of this game too. So the better uki you are, the better receiver, the person taking the falls, the better for everybody concerned. Okay. All right, great. Thanks, guys.